So friends, good evening and welcome aboard. I will take my first question to you, Mr. Jain. You are a veteran in this industry and you understand the very pulse of various pharma companies. You actually know all the points of the industry, and actually you can have a solution for it. So what are the fundamental changes that you have observed in the healthcare ecosystem recently? And what are the different levers in which the pharma companies have in their hand today? How can physical and digital together leverage some of these levers, and so that we can have more effective interactions with our customers, which ultimately helps patient outcomes?
So thank you very much, Gauri, for this question. And at the very outset, let me thank Next Plan and Sherry for organizing this. And I was just going through his introduction, where he has been able to get eminent speakers, and he himself has great advantage of building some of the outstanding brands in the Indian industry, Theranom, Mixtart, and Pediasure. I'm also privileged to be today with outstanding panel members, right from Anil, who has got tremendous experience both of medtech and pharma industry, built many brands. Manish, who has built Indigene, and my fellow my fellow colleague at Special Interest Group at IIM Ahmedabad, and also Dr. Mukesh, who has built outstanding organization, Doctors. I was going through some of the panel participants who are senior members of the Indian industry. Thank you very much for all of them, the participants, and it has been a privilege. I will get connected separately. So let me, and Gauri, you have been the outstanding author of the book, The Perfect Pill. So it is a great privilege to be part of this panel. Let me come straight to the question. I was just looking back when Sherry was giving the introduction. If I would have been there 1 year back, where I would have been, and where I would have loved to be there, if I remember any of the leading doctor clinic at this time, there will be 30 patients and maybe around 15 medical representatives waiting outside the chamber, right? And the most important thing we will talk, for doctor, it is important to see the patient physically and doing physical examination. Of for the rat, it is to visit the doctor. But that whole model, that whole scenario is under question. The doctor clinic will be locked at this time of time, because at IPA we are tracking the doctor's visit, the patient visit to the doctor for last 3 months, and we have been tracking every week. And I have also gone through SMSRC panel survey, which has just come out. Today, doctor is afraid to see the patient, and patient is afraid to see the doctor. This is an unprecedented situation, that doctor is afraid that if he goes and sees the patient, he can get infected with COVID. And patient, unless it is very important, he will not visit the doctor, he will not visit the hospital. Very, very unprecedented situation, which is against the basic premises which I, Anil, Manish, and Mukesh have lived over the years, and Sherry and you have lived over the years. The recent data from SMSRC, which has been just released, 38% of the patients have only visited the doctors, and physical examination is taking place. Many of them have not visited the doctors, even despite the clinics, and few have consulted on the digital media. 53% of the patients, there is a 53% of medical representative only has physical interaction with the doctor. So the physical interaction part is become very, very less, and there has to be a digital which has to support it. So companies have to be very, very clear and have to relook at the total business model. Physical thing will take place, whether it is doctor's practice or whether it is physical interaction of the medical representative. It cannot be avoided. There's fundamental thing. We are talking to Dr. Vinod Paul, who has been working on the teleconsulting policy. There will be necessity of physical interaction, and it has to be supplemented by digital model. And the companies also have to think, how do they combine physical and digital? Physical alone will not work, digital alone will not work. There has to be a hybrid model, and which has to be based on the understanding of the customer, both of doctor and patient. I will stop here. Thank you so much.
So there are definite capabilities that are required, and maybe some kind of upskilling the sales and marketing teams have to go through. So, Mr. Jain, if we arrive at a certain indicators, so what kind of capabilities industry should start investing in so that the sales and marketing teams actually are more capable of being ready for the future that is ahead of us? Mr. Jain?
Again, we get stuck up. So thank you, Gauri, for this question, and thanks for Mukesh to set the context. One very clear thing, which is that the days of mass marketing are over, and the days of frequency coverage is over. I recall when I started in advertising and marketing, Nirma ad used to come in one Doordarshan channel every Saturday evening after Chitra, and that was the easiest task for a marketing man. So even in pharma industry, we used to make a visual aid, and we make visual aid, and we have multiple frequency, 2 times in a week, 3 times in a week. That was the model. That model is over. That is absolutely clear that we can't work with mass marketing. We have to get to differentiation, and we have to get to customization. There is no choice. What is there? And as Manish talked, there are a lot of analytical tools, and Anil talked about it. So we have to build the capabilities of our teams in brand management to get to analytics and get that insight, looking at the patient journeys and doctor's journeys at different level for different therapy. It is easier said than done. It requires tremendous immersion, drive that insight, drive that content. And I use the phrase ICU approach: insight, content, and user interface become fundamental. So we have to build the capability of brand management. More important is, at the end of the day, still the sales force is important. So we have to build that capability to get what is the doctor insight they are looking, and how do they dovetail the content specific to that particular doctor when they are going to him. So personal selling will continue to play an important role. I'm not undermining it. And the concept which Anil was using, omni-channel to supplement that personal selling, which will become important. And how do you integrate these multiple areas? That will be critical to success. So we have to upscale, we have to cross-scale, and we have to de-scale ourselves. That's the important thing. Thank you very much, Gauri, and I'll leave to others.